Dr. Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyawu. Today, if that's okay.
Thank you very much. Well, I'll first of all react to my visit to my son, Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is my son. Today I'm the leader of Igbo people, and every Igbo child is my son. He is my son. He has been incarcerated for so many months. And I have reviewed the matter very critically. Many Igbos have reviewed the matter very critically. And we are of the opinion that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't deserve the type of punishment it's being given. Nnamdi Kanu, like all youths in Nigeria, expressed their unhappiness because they believe they lack opportunities. They believe there is discrimination. They believe that things are not the way they should go. They are not happy. So it's not only Nnamdi Kanu, and this is not the first time. Let's go back into history. And you see, we have been talking about the restructuring of this country. And I want to take this opportunity again to call Tinubu to take a serious look, an immediate look into the restructuring of this country. Until this country is restructured to enable people to develop within their capacity, within their potentials, so that people should in fact be able to harvest and exploit God-given potentials in their places. And then the power of federal government should be reduced. The federating units should be given more power. This has been clear in 1914 when Nigeria was amalgamated. It was clear to everybody that Nigeria was not a republic of one nation, but a federation of many nations. So it's a federal republic with many nations. All the various ethnic nationalities had their culture, had their history, had their idiosyncrasies. And it was clear to all of us. And all through history, where you have such people, you normally work in a federation. For example, the Great Britain. In Great Britain is comprised Scotland, comprised Ireland, comprised Wales, and comprised England. They are working together. Our founding fathers were sensible enough to adopt a federal constitution. The military changed it. This problem has been on. When Britain wanted us to have independence in 1957, the North said no, they won't accept it. In fact, at that particular time, if Awolowo and Zik, who were leaders of this eastern, south, and southern Nigeria, had agreed, because there were three regions, northern region, western region, and eastern region. If any two of them had agreed, they would get independence in 1957. Well, we didn't. In fairness to Awolowo was very keen on it. But it was Zik who actually played the mediatory role and said we should carry the North along with us. That time, North was shouting, Araba, Araba. That means they wanted to secede. They said that they cannot. And then we had to have it by 1960. Even by 1960, we had a federal constitution which gave every region then, three regions, North, East, and West, level of autonomy. All these regions had their high commission in Britain. They operated. And in fact, at that time, Eastern Nigeria operated very well. We were described Eastern Nigeria as probably one of the fastest growing economies south of Sahara. Now, even even after independence, we had the other problems. We had Isaac Boro demanded for Niger Delta. Eventually, he succeeded, in fact. Eventually, Nigerians absorbed me to Nigerian army. In fact, he fought in Nigerian army. And I think he died fighting as a Nigerian soldier during the Civil War. Now, the Civil War, for example, was again due to restructuring. Ojukwu didn't want to break away from Nigeria. Igbo didn't want to break away. In Aburi, what Ojukwu discussed with Gowon was restructuring of Nigeria to make it easier for Igbos to live in the country. But when they all agreed, but when Gowon came to Nigeria, we were made to understand that Nigerians were advised not to accept it, because restructuring it means giving the rich oil area to eastern Nigeria, and they'll be very rich. So they repeated it. I still remember in Biafra, everybody had a vest. On Aburi we stand. On Aburi we stand. That on Aburi we stand didn't mean that we were seceding. It's that we want to be Nigerians. But with the restructured Nigeria, eventually that failed, and it led to civil war, where we in Igbo land lost over 3 million people.
Sorry, sir, may I cut in?
Yes. I'm coming, I'm rounding up.
Okay.
I'm rounding up, listen. I'm telling you the background. Now, the point about it is, I'm only telling you why anybody, today, the Yorubas are asking for secession. Today, you have they're asking for the Oduduwa, and of course, they have infrastructure very well developed. Even the Jaws are asking for it. Even the Middle Belt. So the point about it, the only solution, is not only the Igbos. People think it's only Igbos. The only solution to this is restructuring. I think it has to be done quickly. Nnamdi Kanu, I haven't seen any. They have been cleared by the court. The High Court have declared him. The Supreme Court has declared him. I don't understand why he's being held. You see, I don't see why somebody who is being held. We are appealing to the government, because today is no more a judicial issue. It's a political issue. We in Igbo land, and I'm speaking for Igbos, we believe that this matter is not political. We don't want people to talk about going through the court process. Court process can last the next 5 years. That means our son will be in prison for 5 years or so. I think this is a political matter, and I want the president to use political power to get him released. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Can you just briefly tell us the outcome and the purpose of the visit? The purpose why you went there and the outcome.
My going there, first of all, ask me the purpose. The purpose is that we are not in support. We have a group called IPOB. I call it IPOB. This group claim a lot of things, but Nnamdi Kanu have dissociated himself. Even recently, there was wild accusation against me as a leader of Igbos. IPOB is the only group that wrote against me. Nnamdi Kanu is not with them. And you see, we have got in the East today people telling people not to go work stay at home on Monday. There is no one today. People should not go to school. Even I hear that soldiers have been killed. The truth about it, I discussed with Nnamdi Kanu. He is very sad and very bitter about it. And Igbos are not happy. And he has said it. Nnamdi Kanu sometime last year said it, that he is not part of these people who are forcing Igbos to sit at home.
Did he say it today?
He said it to me again.
Today?
Yes, he said it to me. That is not part of it. He said it to me, and he said it to me today, that he is not part of this question of people going to stop people from taking exam. Igbos value education. two things that have made Igbos develop. One is education, the other one is business enterprise. We don't joke with these two things. There is hardly any Igbo family that joke with education. If anybody come and tell an Igbo person, I hear today they are doing mathematics, and then Igbos are being stopped. I even hear that some military people are killed. These are criminal actions, very criminal. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't support any of this. And that is why you will see that Igbos are concerned about him. If he supports all this, Igbos are not going to be concerned. I'm not going to support him. Because Igbos are not going to support somebody who will go and start ordering the killing of soldiers. They behave soldiers, they burn them, they behave policemen and burn them. These are criminals. And most of them were people who were actually released from prisons. And so when they were released, most of them had nothing, no money, and so on. So this is a matter that requires discussion. I'll discuss this with the governors when I go back, because there are so many things I discuss with him, which I have to discuss with the governors.
So was there a message from Nnamdi Kanu, and are you adding your voice as the president of Ohaneze to the Southeast people concerning the sit-at-home order and the order to be killing uniform men?
Now, the order to kill uniform men is criminal. Is very criminal. The order to kill anybody is criminal. Igbos are Christians. Igbos are Christians, and we are raised by our parents to know that human life is sacred. Human blood is sacred. Any Igbo man who takes the life of another human being is bad. We are people who travel to many places. We welcome strangers. Now, Igbo say it, even in Igbo land, I say, Ojemba, when we travel to places, you make friends. You don't have enemies. So we are very friendly to visitors. So any gesture of hostility against enemies, against strangers, is against us. But we travel to many places. So the truth about... I'll be all right. Are we all right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, young. If I were young, I'll challenge you 6 months, you come out.
And they are in support of the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And at the same time,
contrary